Moor Battery is a complex located on the west-hand side of Lawson Delta. It is, in the universe, one of the main lines of defense for the river that runs through Lawson Delta, yeah, it's a medium-size-ish complex with, you know, only one major spawn, but multiple entries, but it's very much contained within its walls. It has a large fence running around the outside, and typically most people will be approaching Moor Battery from the south, the east, or from the north. Mostly though from the east or the south, as to the north you only really have Godard Docks and Blanc Brinery. This is the area where you'd be approaching from the east. Typically, this leads up to Lawson Delta, Lawson Station behind us, and this is also a typical area where you might find a wagon with resupply. So there's multiple gates around the edge. It's pretty easy to find your way actually into the complex. Northern side of the complex there is a bunch of swampy area, but with a main road that does lead up to Godard Docks. And you may find that people do run down here and approach it this way. We also have that big tower there, so you can see some jump overs. And we can see we've just circled now around. There's a couple of entrances up the front here from the front side, but this is the main river that leads just to the south of Moor Battery, and you can sometimes get people crossing that river, but most of the time they will be crossing the big bridge from Ironworks, as that is going to be quicker and slightly less exposed. But I guess that's debatable when you're crossing a big giant bridge. So here we have the main spawn. This is if you spawn at Moor Battery, this is where you'll be spawning. There is only one spawn at Moor Battery. There is a spawn slightly north of this, on the other side of a lake, at Godard Docks, which you could argue is, if you decided not to go to Godard Docks, you could run to Moor Battery from. But yeah. And then yeah, we've got situated outside of the complex, we actually have a lookout tower, which has a underground little bunker. You could find little med kits in here, maybe ammo, etc. So it's a place to look if you're checking for that kind of thing. And of course we have the tower itself, with the infamous portaloo. And this can be a great place to keep an eye on things like the road up to Godard Docks here. Or checking out, the swamps in the bushes, or the road down here, which is just to the northern side of Moor Battery, going up to Lawson Delta, and as well as, seeing if anyone's crossing the river. But typically, you're going to be focusing more on sniping into the complex if you're using this tower. But of course, it is slightly blocked off. So let's actually get into the complex and talk about the complex itself. So there's 4 main buildings with Moor Battery. You've got the main boss building itself, which we'll get to. This is that central red building, and then we have on either side we've got 2 L-shaped buildings, which are the barracks. These are filled with bunk beds and things like that. You can see if we run through. There's a little kitchen area. For people. There's actually the mess hall, sorry, the barracks on the other side. So this would be the mess hall, where the soldiers would go eat their lunch and all that. And on the other side is the barracks. We also have a little building back here, which holds the generator. It actually has. I always thought they were stables, but this is actually like the toilets. This is the wash house for the barracks. And yeah, you can see at the back of the barrack of this wash house area, we have these nice slanted metal roofs that allow us to run up them. And the great thing about more batteries, these roofs, you can run all over them. You know, we've got this little beam here that allows you to get on the side here. Of course, there is a ladder that you can climb up if you didn't want to do that. And you can also get onto the other side as well. So you can actually run all the way around the roofs in more battery, which I tell you, people do that all the time. I have not seen a fight at more battery where someone, at least one person, hasn't been on the roof. So yeah, this is on the other side. This is the barracks, as I was saying. So it's a nice L-shaped building. There's one on each side. It's a fairly symmetrical. Yeah, it's a fairly symmetrical complex. What you do have on this side, though, is we have these two red towers. So these smaller lookout towers. Now, in all honesty, I never see anyone using these. It's been very rare that I see anyone sitting in these towers, you know, using them for lookout. But, you know, maybe that's where using them on the odd occasion might be a good bet for you, because you don't see people in them that often. I typically suggest steering clear of sitting in those towers because they are a bit of an easy target. You know, go up them, check them for loot. You can see on the last one there was a concertina bomb, and in this one there's actually a Winfield marksman sitting in here. I mean, I'm only in the trials maps in this regard, but yeah, you know, they can cover a few things. Obviously, that's where you see a wagon often. So they might not be worth. They might be worth checking every now and then, especially if you are seeing a fight maybe on the bridge or a fight out on the northern side here. Yeah. So yeah, you can see there's loads of entrances. Now we do have this front area which is going onto the river. So this is this bricked up walled area with these two set of staircases either side. Honestly, you don't really see many people coming out here. The way I would use this is to rotate on people and run around it to kind of try and get a rotate, or sneakily get a rotate. You are a little bit exposed to anyone crossing the bridge. Obviously, you can see how much, you know, how far you can see, and you will be, you know, perfect contrast against that light brickwork. So you're going to be easy to spot if you do walk in front of it. So that's just something to be careful of. So yeah, let's actually talk about the boss building. So here we have our metal door. There's actually only 2 entrances to the bottom floor, which is kind of unusual for most boss areas. So we've got the metal door on the front or the south end side there, but then on kind of the opposite side, we do have this. There's this little room here with that window and this door that leads into the opposite side that leads into the boss area. That little room there is actually safe. Once you cross that second door inside, you are in the boss area. And then yeah, so a lot more of the entrances are actually on that second floor, which is pretty much why you get so many people standing on the roofs of more battery trying to shoot in, because you got at least 3 main entrances on the second floor. Then obviously you've got this bridge here that runs over to that side, and that's all connected up, and you can run pretty much all the way around these roofs, as I said. So yeah, we've got our first entrance here. There's a small wooden door on the path through here. Yeah, with some staircases up on either side. And then on the other side of the building, we have this doorway here. And I see a lot of people actually attacking this doorway because this roof behind me where I'm standing right now is kind of the central point. You see a lot of people shooting into this door, and this is really the hotbed of the arena. of the complex. It's typically this sort of area, you know, shooting these on these roofs into this building through, you know, this window here, you know, through these gaps. That's where a lot of the fights happen, and that's just what happens in this area because of how it's situated, because of how it's organized. People are going to be on the roofs, people are going to be firing out these windows. You do get people running around the bottom and running around, you know, fighting down there, especially if you've got multiple people attacking at once. This is a great little angle, so you get a lot of people running up these stairs, and I can't tell you how many times I have killed someone by holding this angle, seeing them walk up these stairs, seeing them come up these stairs from the river. And I can't tell you how many times I have died in this area. Especially this lantern, you know, this is a small little area. It's only got one real exit to back out inside the complex. You know, the others are like out of this building. I find I get set on fire here a lot. I've found I've died here a lot. It's I try and avoid that little area where I can, unless I'm really trying to get a rotate on someone. But yeah, you got two angles there that kind of do struggle a little bit. So yeah, that's kind of like a rundown of the area. You know, you can see there's multiple ways up onto that second floor. You'll have, you know, most fights on that on the upper levels. In terms of what I would suggest, if you were attacking this complex, is attack from the lower levels. You know, we have this entrance here, and I think this entrance is probably one of your best bets at least sneaking into the complex. You do find it can be trapped sometimes. Some people will put a concertina bomb in here, or something similar. But I find, yeah, that's probably one of the better ways of going about sneaking in. Defensively, you know, I would concertina off that bottom floor and just focus on everyone, you know, aiming in at the top and on that top floor. But yeah, let's you know, it's a relatively simple map. For the most part, you know, everyone's going to be up on the upper floors, but there might be people running around as well, depending on how sneaky they are. Yeah, it's a relatively simple area. Let's dive into some gameplay of it. Okay, so I wanted to start out and show you just the precursor to me approaching the area. So this was I was over at Lawson Delta. We were just getting some clues. The boss is at more battery. I think there's no surprises there, and yeah. So we had this little fight going on that I joined. And yeah, I was really struggling with this. I was really struggling for some reason applying that regen shot. Yeah, so I didn't know where the boss was quite yet, so we were just trying to work out how to best approach this. I was a little bit noisy today. I was a little bit impatient on this say today. I was a little bit impatient in this round, so I'm not really sneaking too much. Just kind of going for it. I didn't know he was there, but I took a gamble that he probably would have heard me break in and would be there, so I took the risk and expected, and yeah, you know, it works out. So yeah, get this guy down, I could get this guy trapped up, get him you know, burning pretty quickly, and then yeah, run out and got the clue, and I think then we're heading straight over to more battery. Here we go. So yeah, Approaching from Lawson Station, obviously, I've approached more through the swampy areas, through the trees. It's just a slightly better way to approach it, especially if you do have someone already here. You can use those trees as cover. Typically, as a solo, I don't like running on the main roads. I like to try and avoid running around the main roads as best as possible. Because, you know, you're easy on those main roads, you are easy sniper fodder. So yeah, try and avoid it. So yeah, I come in, obviously it's white, so I'm not too worried at the moment. I decide, I see these traps and I think, yeah, you know what, let's drop them down, just in case anyone does run around here. And the heavy rain starts going, so we're going to finish trapping up, and then we're just going to kind of just jump straight into the boss in all honesty. So yeah, you see, you know, even though I know this is you know, empty, I'm still approaching from the bottom. It's just my personal preferred entrance. If I can make it work, just because it is slightly safer down here. I often, if I see a trap, I'll often just place it. Because you never know. Especially if you're in the boss area, if you're trying to fight the boss. At the moment I'm just here looking for a weapon. And yeah, so this complex has two floors, and it's got two stairwells on either side of the building, making it really easy to navigate around the area. So there's another main bunk area, and those bunks do make kind of interesting obstacles to hide behind. Finally got ourselves a big axe. You know, depending where you hide in this room, you can actually kind of blend in pretty well sometimes. But it just depends where you're sitting. There's a lot of like nice little sneak gaps that you can peek through, going through the beds as well. Nice easy assassin kill, and yeah, as soon as we get the kill, it's already red. Yeah, so it's heavy raining, so obviously seeing outside, especially seeing through these windows, is really quite hard. So I'm kind of mainly going for the lesson to try and just work out maybe where whoever's around is. This is not a bad little corner to chill in if you are trying to just be a little bit sneaky, because you are covering this door on the left hand side here, and you also are covering the stairs just right there, just in case they have snuck in from underneath. Particularly, they would have had to have walked through the entire complex on the ground floor to get there. Obviously, we have a stalker beetle, so they now know where I am. And that's why I just stopped being a little bit sneaky. I'm now just actually manually looking. And there we get the telltale signs that they are on the roof. Because of course they are, because it's more battery. They're always going to go for the roof. 9 times out of 10. And I do the same thing I do every single time, which is to get myself burned in that little corner. That, honestly, go turn that lantern off if you ever get in there, because so many people shoot it. Yeah, it's mad. Yeah, so throwing in here, opening that door, and you see people are firing through this door, using that door as kind of like the main window in to the building, because it does actually get a nice long look down into the building, so you can see people running past and all of that. It can be quite hard to get an angle on the northwest corner of the complex, especially when you're on the roof there. You know, your best bet is going to be this window. And yeah, it wasn't the cleanest kill. If it was cleanest, it would be the first one. But yeah, I should have probably covered him, but I had the zombie running out after me, which is why I climbed straight up the ladder. And of course, he had that guy picked himself up. I should have died there. I should have died here, but it's lucky when your enemy's aim sucks as well. So yeah, you know, they go on the roof, and 9 times out of 10, that is going to be what most of your fights are in More Battery, is fights with people who are standing on the roof and using these little chimney stacks here to as cover and things like that. That really is. Now, obviously, you will have a lot of people. You will have some people who are running around, and especially if you have more than one person here, or like more than one team. Sorry. You'll get a lot more people running around in circles, but that's really as much as you can do here, is rotate on people as best as you can. There wasn't too many kind of secret ways in More Battery. There's a couple of places you can drop and that sort of thing, but yeah, for the most part, it's a pretty simple complex and a pretty nice complex. So yeah, if you come across More Battery, you know, it's you know, expect people to be on roofs, but for the most part, yeah, it's pretty good. And yeah, pretty simple game today, but you know, I hope this helps. Let me know if you'd like to see more of these map guides. They take a little while to get some decent gameplay footage for the gameplay section at the end. So you know, I can't always say it will definitely be this map next, because obviously I just want to have at least a semi-decent game where I do show off some of the things that I am talking about. But yeah, let me know if you want to see some more. Let me know if this guide helps you at all, and yeah, leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and until next time, may your hunts be bountiful.